Coming to you from Hancock University, it's time for everybody's favorite late-night news program at 7, The Sunday Spectacle, with your host, me, Benjamin Clayhan.
Oh, thank you. All right. Before I start, I just want to give a shout out to my producer, my editor, and my biggest fan, my mama.
What the hell am I doing here? You're in college.
She's so funny. So for our first story, I'll be talking about the current economic situation in Europe. 4 years after the initial crash of the economy in Europe, analysts have stated that it has resurfaced again. But when did it ever leave? Really? What do you call the immense unemployment rate that has continued to plague countries like Greece and Spain, as well as the huge amount of debt that keeps piling on? It's like those damn squirrels in our attic. We would constantly hear them scampering through the walls, so we decided to lay traps to kill them. We didn't hear from them for a while, but then what we realized was all we did was piss them off. And now we've got a bunch of pissed off squirrels that keep making babies. Our problem was never gone, it was just getting worse. They want you to think they're eating nuts, but they're secretly planning an attack. Ain't that right, Mama? Anyways, we were actually in Madrid, Spain last week for spring break. So I decided to take the opportunity to interview some people. Incidentally, there was actually a protest going on. Let's take a look at the footage. Hello, I'm here in Madrid, Spain, on spring break. Incidentally, there seems to be a protest going on, so let's go talk to some protesters. Good thing I learned Spanish in school.
Por favor, queremos trabajo. No queremos trabajo.
We are outraged. The high unemployment rate is ridiculous, and the government is doing nothing to help us youth. Actually, they've done the opposite by cutting social benefits, such as food stamps, rent subsidies, and free medical care. Having those benefits would at least help support us so we can get back off the street and back on our feet.
Yo sé que ustedes están enojados, pero necesitamos más tiempo.
I'm here to protest against the ridiculous youth unemployment rate that's been plaguing our country for the last few years and the corrupt politicians that run our country. My rent has continuously kept increasing and I can barely afford to live in my apartment. I have tons of friends that I know who either live with their parents or on the streets. They had no idea that the corrupt Spanish banks were loaning too much money to civilians and to companies for real estate. When the housing market crashed, a bunch of those civilians and companies went bankrupt, which paralyzed the banking system, and now they are not doing anything.
Muévense, cállense, muévanse. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Dime, por favor. Ustedes. ¿Qué quieres? Díganme.
It is not our fault. We are not the ones overspending our means. You have Catalonia to thank for that. They're the ones that spend $1.3 million a month to run a prison that houses no prisoners. We are the ones trying to clean up the mess and rebuild our economy from such despicable overspending. We are raising taxes to help make up for the astronomical debt we have gotten into over the past several years. We are working on a solution. Pointing fingers and getting angry at us is not going to help solve your problems.
No lo tomaremos.
I thought I told you to cut that. We'll be right back. Please don't leave.